in the quiet spaces of my heart. I never imagined my marriage would unravel from a single, softly spoken sentence. Just one night with him. That's all I'm asking. Her name was Elise. For nearly a decade, we had built a life defined by routine comforts, shared laughter, and the steady hum of companionship. Mornings began with coffee in mismatched cups, our fingers often brushing as we reached the sugar bowl. Friday nights were reserved for the two of us, curled up under a worn quilt on the couch, engrossed in our favorite series. Saturdays brought playful arguments at the market over whether to splurge on artisan bread or stick with something more sensible. Our life wasn't grand, but it was grounded, predictable, safe. I believed it was enough to last. For the past 6 years, Elise had been flourishing at a top-tier marketing firm. Her drive had always captivated me. It was part of what made me fall for her. But in recent months, something in her began to shift. Her clothes became sharper, her evenings longer, her reasons for staying late increasingly vague but plausible. Then a name started appearing more often in our conversations. Victor Langston, her boss, wealthy, sophisticated, newly single, the kind of man who turned heads without even trying. At first, I didn't think much of it. Who wouldn't find someone like that impressive? But what began as casual mentions soon grew into something heavier. Victor never set foot in our home, yet he became a constant presence, woven into her words and her thoughts. She'd quote him over dinner. She'd reference his advice with admiration. Slowly, comparisons began slipping in. Not cruelly, not even directly, but with enough weight to sting. Victor would have handled it differently. Victor always knows how to sell the idea. Each comment was a tiny fracture in the foundation we'd built. I didn't realize how deep those cracks had run until night everything fell apart. We were in the kitchen, a half-eaten risotto cooling on our plates. Elise gently placed her wine glass on the table and met my eyes with an unsettling calm. "I know this sounds crazy, Thomas," she began, her voice level, too composed. "But Victor invited me to Napa, just the two of us. He believes there's something between us. He's asked for one night. No expectations. I'll come back after. I swear." The moment stretched unnaturally, time folding in on itself. Her glass trembled slightly, an echo of the storm rising in my chest. My heart raced, but my thoughts were razor sharp. This wasn't a slip of the tongue. This was deliberate. Not a plea for approval, but a test of how much of myself I'd bend to keep her. "You want a night with him?" I asked, my tone flat, disconnected. She nodded, steady, determined, but tired. "Just one night. It doesn't have to change anything." I didn't answer. I stood up, the chair legs scraping against the hardwood, and walked down the hall. From the closet, I pulled out the old duffel we'd taken to Capri on our honeymoon. The zipper still stiff from years of neglect. Slowly, I began packing. A sweater, a few books, pieces of the life we once shared. Elise followed, her voice rising in confusion. "What are you doing?" "Giving you what you asked for," I said, folding a shirt with quiet care. "If you need that night, take it. Take every night." "I'm done." She let out a nervous laugh, unsure if I was serious. But I was. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat by the glow of my laptop, reviewing divorce forms with my attorney. By sunrise, they were signed and stacked neatly on the kitchen counter. "You were willing to gamble everything we had on one night," I said as I handed her the papers. My voice was calm, even as grief churned inside me. "So now you're free. No more secrets. No more pretending." Her mask cracked. She cried, apologized, said she hadn't meant to hurt me, that it was a mistake, that she wanted to stay if I'd let her. But her tears couldn't erase what her request had exposed. The real betrayal wasn't the act. It was how easily she'd entertained it, as if 10 years could be brushed aside for a moment of indulgence. What followed was a blur of paperwork, silence, and the slow dismantling of what we once called home. She moved in with her cousin across town, through friends and whispered updates. I heard her weekend in Napa hadn't turned into the romantic escape she'd hoped for. For Victor, it had been just what he promised. One night. Nothing more. A year later, she left a voicemail. Her voice cracked with regret. You were right, Thomas. I was a fool. I gave up everything for nothing. I'm sorry. I listened to it once, then deleted it. There was nothing left to discuss. It's been 3 years now. I live in Seattle, running a small branding studio from my home office. The loneliness that once gnawed at me has transformed into quiet strength. I've found peace in small things, the rhythm of rain against the glass, the satisfaction of meaningful work, the joy of living by my own values. As for Elise, she got her one night, but it cost her everything we built. She believed a single misstep wouldn't matter, that love could survive a temporary detour. But true love doesn't test boundaries. It chooses every day, even in silence, even when no one's watching. When she looked me in the eye and asked to step away, she unknowingly revealed that she already had. I didn't lose a wife that night. I let go of a mirage, of a version of Elise that only existed in memory. And in doing so, I uncovered something far more valuable. The strength to seek love that's real and the clarity to never settle for anything less.